Hi guys, this is Lada from Astrology.com with your monthly horoscopes for November 2016, shooting from Chill, California. And before I start the monthly horoscope, a quick announcement. Those of you who missed my webinar with Trifon about the astrology of lovers and the astrology of marriage using ancient astrology techniques, which you won't find anywhere. These are ones that we're rediscovering recently, and they work amazingly. Those people knew their astrology in the past. Those people, they created astrology after all. So these are methods that are very different of compatibility, and once you learn this method, you need nothing of the complicated synastry, interaspects, the complicated compatibility techniques we use in the West now. So if you missed that webinar with me and Trifon, here is the link for it. And if you missed my webinar with Marina on astrological configuration, there is a link as well for it. This is about the foundation of your horoscope. You don't need to know any astrology, but in that webinar we explain what is the foundation of your horoscope, what configuration is your horoscope consists of. And that will show your destiny in life. That will show some people have a destiny to succeed in the first part of their life. They have like a horoscope that reminds like an umbrella. Another people have a horoscope that reminds like a boat. They have a destiny to succeed in the second part of their life. Some people have a destiny to succeed in outward, a very out and about in the world through careers, through interactions with others. They have one type of configuration of horoscopes. Figures, they're like figures. Other people have a destiny to kind of succeed in life through you know, through creativity and art, through more personal experiences rather than being out there in the world. So we'll talk about all that. So some people are here to take a break in this lifetime, to take it easy and to just enjoy the rewards from previous past lifetimes, basically. This is like the Grand Trine horoscope. So some people are here to work really hard and to really manifest on the material level and break through old habits like the Grand Square. And we're going to talk all those possible manifestations, configurations. We talked about that. If you missed that webinar, check it, and it's fantastic. The responses are amazing. And for November webinars, I'm doing 2 new webinars. And November is a kind of a grim month, as we know, because November we're more introverted, we're willing to look into the mysteries and secrets and more psychologically in depth. So I'm gonna make a webinar, making a webinar on the first Sunday of, on the 6th of November, the first Sunday, on Saturn. All about Saturn in the natal horoscopes and also Saturn's transits. We're gonna talk what your karma is with Saturn, what your most difficult lessons with Saturn are. We're gonna talk how Saturn behaves in different houses, in different aspects with planets. We're gonna talk when Saturn improves, how you can improve, how you can master Saturn. Saturn is also connected to your career, and how you can really improve those most difficult lessons, which are connected also to past lifetimes. And then on Sunday the 27th of November, I'm doing a webinar for the nodes of the moon, Rahu and Ketu, about past life karma, current life karma, about what the nodes mean specifically in your horoscope, what they mean if they're with other planets, what they mean in certain houses, the esoteric meaning, the Western and the Vedic meaning of those 2 nodes and how they manifest in life. So these are Ketu, Rahu and Saturn are the 3 most complicated and difficult positions in one's horoscope, and we're gonna master them during the month of Scorpio in November, because Scorpio is about diving deep and tackling challenging topics. Virgo, November 2016, and I've been saying this for all the signs, but this month is kind of a breath of fresh air for most of us, because basically the planets are moving forward, so we can go ahead with new projects, power ahead, so to speak. There is nothing blocking us or making us go back and reconsider and revise and rethink about our life. So it's a great time, especially the first 15 days of November, to start new endeavors of any sort. All the important planets are moving ahead, and also there are no big clashes between the planets. We don't have Saturn square Neptune or Jupiter opposition Pluto or something like that. So we don't have any big planetary wars happening that can create some tension. We don't have negative configurations. Maybe occasionally for a day they can form, but it's nothing that is gonna lead to negative results. And it's kind of more peaceful month. Of course, some people might feel more difficult influences because they're gonna have Saturn transit. Some Virgos might feel it, but they're just a group of, you know, a very small group, and I'll mention the dates as well. So now let's see what's happening. All the planets, if Virgo is here and it's the circle, you know, the astrological circle, and say Virgo is here in the circle, all the planets will be in November currently transiting below the horizon, so to speak, in the circle like that. If this is Virgo circle, you know, Virgo is here, all the planets are situated below the horizon, none of them is above. So this means, and we're talking about the 7 traditional important planets, this means that the month is a little bit more introverted for Virgos. In a sense, they might be doing activities that are more private, that are more connected with personal communication, personal matters of their personal life, more to do with feelings as well, more to do with family, more to do with kind of the inner world, rather than being out there on the stage. And let's say your ascendant is in Pisces, so then all the planets will be above the horizon, and your moon is in Virgo, so then they will be all below the horizon from the moon, so they'll be like, you know, it will be a mixture of both. But just talking about Virgo, if it's Virgo, if you're a Virgo ascendant or Virgo Sun in particular, all the planets are below, so it's kind of more hidden, more private activities in a sense, and it's more like a preparation before you rise, you know, out there into the world. So let's see which houses are triggered for Virgos. And okay, the planets are all over the place. First of all, your 3rd house is quite strongly activated for the first couple of weeks, because both the Sun and Mercury to around the 13th of November are in Scorpio, which is your 3rd house. So you can have like a lot of people calling you, communication, sorting out documents, papers of some sort, chatting on the phone. The 3rd house is the house of planning, organizing, some organizational activities might be happening, gathering information of some sort, learning new skills of any sort as well. You can become more curious, and the information flow around you increases. So maybe you might be, even if you don't watch normally news, you might be more inclined to watch news and to see what's happening in the world, and to listen and to gather information. Or you might have to study for some exam, for example, because 3rd house is verbal and spoken communication, and the mind, the logical mind, the skills of the mind, so communicating, writing. If you're in any career that includes writing, speaking, analytical thinking, information of any sort, traveling of any sort, working with clients and communication, and working administrative work or media of any sort, this can be quite a busy month for you actually, because the 3rd house corresponds to those activities. You might be more in touch with relatives, siblings, occasional friends, for example. 3rd house is people that you communicate on a daily basis with, your teammates, playmates, co-workers. You get more involved, more busy with such people, but nothing like out of the ordinary or stressful, maybe having to work on some project in a small group. And then from around the 2nd part of the month, the Sun moves into your 4th house, and Mercury from the 13th moves into your 4th house. So you start arranging and organizing, and Mercury is your planet, so whatever Mercury goes, your attention and focus goes. So from around the 30th of November, Mercury goes into your 4th house, so it means that for about 3 weeks you'll be focusing much more on family, on organizational and planning activities connected with your home. You might maybe do some cleaning and reordering in your home, or you might have important conversations of some sort with your family, or that might increase communications with your family, or maybe sorting out some documents connected to property, or some arranging some matters connected to property or relocation or something like that. And then the Sun joins Mercury from the 22nd, 23rd in your 4th house as well. So it puts kind of the, and it continues to be there till the 20th of December. So the focus on family, will continue for about, well into December. But I think that the focus of family will be there for the whole November, and because first Venus is in your 4th house, so you first have an opportunity to receive some good news in regards to property, in regards to matters of home, in regards to matters of your personal life and members of your family. And then Mercury goes in the 4th house from the 13th, so you can arrange more such matters, important communications. And then the Sun goes into the 4th house, so one after another all the planets pass there. So there is more focus on this private life, on your own affairs of some sort as well. And from the 13th of November, Venus, the planet of love, moves into the 5th house of romance. So from the 13th of November till the end of November, you have an opportunity more to have, if you're Virgo Sun or Ascendant or Moon, to have more pleasant experiences. Maybe to go to a theater performance that you enjoy. 5th house rules amusements, and Venus in the 5th house would give you those amusements and those pleasures in a better dose. Maybe to go to parties that you enjoy. Maybe to enjoy a hobby, something that you're passionate about is the 5th house that you can really indulge in, because Venus shows us where we can get a break, where we can enjoy ourselves, where we can get support and pleasure. So you can receive support and pleasure from the 13th of November to the end of the month at some period from, for example, from your lovers, or if you're dating someone, you can have more luck with dating, for example. You can receive more affection from a partner, because the 5th house is very romantic house, like gestures of appreciation of love that you give and that you receive. Also, you can receive some kind of positive developments through your children. They can be nicer, sweeter, more easy to get along with. Or if you have some creative projects, Virgos, when Venus goes into your 5th house from the 13th of November to the end of November, you tend to be much more these creative projects flow more easily. These creative entertainment activities flow more easily as well. This artistic part of you as well flows more easily. You become more expressive in your affections as well. And usually that's why people also feel more attracted to you in some way. As I said, if you have your own business, this is 5th house as well. Whether it's creative business or no, Venus will help you from the middle of the month onwards to make things easier, to make them flow somehow, to get newer ideas that help you. What else? We have Mars moving into your 6th house, Virgos. So that's okay. Mars moving into your 6th house from the 10th of November, and we'll be there for about 5-6 weeks. And this happens once every 2.5 years that Mars goes into your 6th house. So how can you use that energy? It's actually very important energy, because it happens just once every 2.5 years. And Mars really loves being in the 6th house because it gives you a fighting and competitive spirit when it's in the 6th house. Especially when it comes to, it gives you more ability to confront difficult tasks in your life. Say, for example, you have to do some fixing. Something that has been broken down, you have to repair it. Some errands, 6th house rules errands, and Mars gives you the energy and the courage to go and confront those kind of unpleasant things that you don't want to confront, that you sweep under the rug, and the tasks, the more difficult tasks that you leave for later. And now Mars says, okay, now you have to face those difficult tasks. And of course it can create some crisis, because whatever Mars is, it can create some crisis. So maybe something breaking down, some enmity, a bit more competition appearing in your life. But at the same time, Mars in the 6th house allows you to face those problems and allows you to deal with them better and allows you to sort them out. And by the time Mars moves out of your 6th house, you feel like, oh, I'm so glad. I mean, it was a bit stressful, but I'm so glad I managed to sort out all those issues. I fixed the car, or I fixed a drip in the sink, or there was this problem at work, a 6th house rules work, there was this confrontation, or this like very stressful schedule that happened at work, that I had to work very hard, but I'm glad I got it down, because I got all those duties, responsibilities and errands done. And Mars gives us the energy to do them, to confront them without fear. But as again, as I said, it increases competitiveness. Also, 6th house is the house of health. And if you are not taking care of your health, Mars as the malefic will send you a signal over the next month and a half, from the 10th of November to around sometime in December. Mars will give you a signal, say, if you're not standing straight enough, you know, it will affect your back and you'll start feeling some pains there. Or if, for example, you are overeating and not eating healthy, your stomach and intestines might start giving you problems. Or if you're not taking enough break or rest or whatever you're not doing which is out of balance, which can affect your health. And this is something that you're doing with your own activities. This is not something that is karmic. This is not something that comes to you from family inheritance, some health problem. This is something you've done by not taking proper care of your body, or by not eating the right foods that are good for you, not taking enough exercise. And Mars tends to send the signals then when it's in the 6th house. So you might get more pains in certain areas. Pay attention to those pains. Don't take painkillers. Pay attention, because they're like a symptom that's telling you you're not doing something right in your health, but they're also telling you now is the time to fix it. If you take the right steps, if you tweak something in your diet, if you start working out more, if you stop smoking or whatever, if you go for a walk each day, if you don't slouch or whatever it is that is showing you, you know, then you can fix it and that health problem can be solved and can be removed. But yeah, this is a period when some kind of a martial conditions in regards to health might flare up, like having some, you know, martial, like some inflammation, some sudden onset of more painful little accident, or some inflammations or sore or cold or infectious conditions of some sort, and they're more acute of nature because Mars has acute energy there. And if you have such like pains and stuff, it's telling you you can fix this. When the 6th house health problem comes, you can fix it by adjusting diet or nutrition or something in your lifestyle, sleep patterns or work patterns. And on the other hand, this can mean that this is going to be a month and a half of having more duties and responsibilities than other times, and having to run more errands and deal with them. But as we said, Venus is also in your 5th house from the 13th of November. So Venus allows you to amuse yourself as well. It's not so all work and sorting out problems and health issues and having to do all those errands. It's also, Venus allows you to have the pleasant moments, to escape for a date, to kind of enjoy some hobby that you love, you know. So there is kind of more balance there that we see. And that's how overall most of the influences are for you, Virgos. You know, Jupiter is in your 2nd house, continues to move direct. So again, November is for some of you Virgos, Ascendant or Sun, you know, can be a very good time for, can be a time of new opportunities that come to you in regards to finances. And Jupiter continues to be direct till February, so November, December, January can be, if not November necessarily, but then at least December, you know, it can be opportunities for Virgos. And then January to have some new opportunities, to have something appear on the horizon that will expand their finances in some way. For example, my moon was in Leo. Last year I had Jupiter in the 2nd house and my finances increased, they doubled within that 1 year. But at the first hit of Jupiter, at the beginning of Jupiter's transit, it just indicates something as a potential appearing. So over the next maybe November, December, January, some potential, an opportunity can appear, and then you grab it, and by the end of this transit, by October 2014, you'd have an opportunity. You'd have fulfilled that opportunity and increase the financial and resource base of your life and the stability for you. So anyway, that's the prediction for you, Virgos. Thank you so much. And some of you have Saturn transit. Those of you who are born from around the 5th to around the 10th of September, or from around the 4th to around the 9th of September approximately, they can have it a bit harder because Saturn is squaring their Sun. Or if you have your Moon or Ascendant from around the, what was it, from around the 18th degree, from around the 13th to around the 18th degree of, is from around 13th to around the 18th degree in Virgo, Ascendant or Moon. Saturn is there, so Saturn, these are the only people of the Virgo group that can be having a tougher month with some testing, with some culmination and this is for the last time that Saturn transits those degrees, thankfully. So it's kind of a culmination and completion of a testing period, which must have lasted for a year in certain areas of your life. It might feel like a moment of isolation, or having too much work, or having finally concluding and finishing something up, but having to, you know, but and it's the ending of a difficult period, but that's the last hit, so you have to like squeeze your teeth through it and push through it. So thank you so much, and I will see you next month.